to be able to connect together tonight in this information session for our upcoming North Bali Women's Immersion in November, the Way of the Goddess. So I feel like I've seen some of your faces before, perhaps in some of the other offerings that we've had, but I'm Ruth, and we have Jazzy here, Rach and Ally here tonight. And so we'll be guiding you through a practice that helps you to connect with the divine feminine, with Śakti, and as well, of course, there'll be options to opportunity to learn more about what our week in Bali will be like, as well as ask some questions and just connect with us here as well. So I'm going to invite everyone to just get comfortable, whether that be a seated position or you might like to come to lay down, whatever feels like a good soft landing space for you. And if you need some props to support you, please take some time to make yourself comfortable. Notice if there's anything that you can grab so that you can land here with a sense of ease, and just guide your presence to be here now. And it might even feel nice if you're in a seated position to just bring a really slow, soothing rock, either of your body forward and backwards a little, or maybe even side to side, or a bit of a circular movement of your torso around your pelvic bowl. And the invitation is to make that movement really slow and subtle, just to ease yourself into being here, guiding both the body and the mind to become present here in this moment via some movement. I invite you to notice the sensations of the parts of your body that are connected to the earth. And if you're in a seated position, you might even take your fingertips out a little wider out from your hips and just connect them to the earth beneath you. Or if the hands don't make the earth, then maybe you just sense where the feet are connected to the earth. If you're laying on your back, notice the points of connection between your body and the earth. And you might continue to allow a little bit of a rock or sway through the body, or you might choose to just soften into a still point whenever you feel ready to. And now just take a moment to acknowledge that solid ground beneath you and the presence of Mother Earth energy, her nurturance, her regenerative qualities, her foundation, her support, and how she's rising up to meet you here. Acknowledge her constant and reliable presence in your life, always there beneath your feet. And so you might keep the hands placed on the earth if that feels just right for you right now. Or you might choose to place the hands upon the body, perhaps over the heart or over the belly, or anywhere else that would feel like a compassionate, supportive, and effective therapeutic touch for yourself. And it's just this gesture of welcoming yourself here now, just as you are. Sense the body breathing itself. Sense the softness that breath brings into your being. And you might, if it feels available to you right now, take a breath in slowly through the nose. And then allow for an exhale to just pour out of the mouth as you soften the jaw and sense a soft sigh riding on your breath. You might even like to experiment with doing that a few more times. The breath being this portal to guiding your presence into your being now. Noticing not only the foundation that breath brings to you, but also the softness it cultivates within your heart, within your being. And then taking that internal inquiry into just noticing what's brought you here. What's brought you here into this practice and session tonight? How has this energy of the divine feminine and Śakti been a part of your life? Or how is it stirring your own curiosities? What's simmering in the cave of the heart, or deep in the belly, deep in the womb space? Notice your intentions that brought you here, your inner inquiries that continue to just evolve and shape. And so our hope is that tonight you get to just tend to these inner inquiries, this connection, this relationship to the divine feminine energy that's alive in your consciousness and your being. And beautiful Jazzy will now guide us through soothing, nourishing practice. Thank you, Jazzy.
And we can continue that journey and invite the presence of that energy, or the feminine mystics or yoginis, those who have walked the path before us. This radiant circle of remembrance, and this circle of support and protection and grace surrounding us and holding us. So you might visualize that circle of support, or feel or sense, as we continue to turn awareness inward. And feminine energy encourages us to welcome it all. Your emotional and cyclical and sensual and intuitive nature. And the yogic understanding is that when the body becomes still, we begin to feel that radiant aliveness that pulses within. A shimmer of subtle movement, and that quiet hum of life beneath the surface. And all day long, we're engaged in action and thinking and doing and reaching. And our energy, it scatters, it leaks out into the world. But in stillness, we begin to call that power home. We come in contact with the breath and calling that vital energy back into the heart, this central hub of Śakti, the source of inner power. And so you might feel your breath as it flows. And as you pay closer attention to your breath, you might notice there's a subtler pulsation that underlies the breath and the heartbeat. I'm going to invite us into a short chant, and we're going to chant to Paradevi. So she is the embodiment of Pratibha, which means intuitive insight, and embodied instinct and creative inspiration. And these qualities are at the heart of the divine feminine. Pure blessing energy, compassionate, loving presence, radical clarity, and finding and trusting our inner compass and intuition. So you can listen and feel free to join in whenever you feel ready. Thanks, Ruth. The words are in the chat. Om Sauhu Paraya Namaha. 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 One more. Om Sauhu Paraya Namaha. And just feeling the resonance inside, the resonance of the mantra as we share silence and be present in our hearts together. And resting in that energy, that Śakti in the heart. And can you open up to the love and the grace and the healing and the nourishment and the wisdom that is here and now? And a lot of goddess work is leaning and trusting pratibha, intuition. And living from the deep feminine calls us into this place of intimacy where we listen to what our body and our hearts need. You might like to bring your two palms together in prayer. And just feeling that gesture of reverence, of opening. You might like to bow your head towards your heart, bowing to this practice of listening and feeling, bowing both to your human heart and the boundless heart that can hold it all, can hold the Śakti. May we continue to expand our capacity to hold life and to follow the wisdom of Paradevi, of intuition. Jai Ma. Thank you to Devi Wi-Fi for holding out. Hmm. So I'll pass the speaking stick over to Ally.
Thanks, Jazz. Thank you for that beautiful practice. I'm here to speak a little about what our days might look like, what our evenings might feel like, and a little about the surroundings of this beautiful retreat center in northeast Bali, the area Tejakula, where we don't tend to see that many tourists. It's this stunning mountain forest retreat. And in Bali, as in many ancient sacred cultures, mountains actually symbolize humanity's relationship with creation, which makes it the most perfect and apt place to celebrate the divine feminine, creation, abundance, strength, and nurturing, I guess. So we're really excited to share this beautifully curated offering with you all, using the beautiful practices and rituals and sharing of love that we live and love. So we have a day, a rough idea of how our days might look. We will be slowly over the days introducing or immersing ourselves in the Goddess. So we would be feeling into Lakshmi, the goddess of abundance and love, and I just think of lusciousness, and also into Kali, our more fierce side, our also loving, compassionate and passionate fierce side, and Durga, the mother of creation, and Saraswati, our beautiful sort of sides of communication and creativity and flow. So through the days, we hope to immerse ourselves in teachings about these to help us access, recognize, and truly embody these beautiful aspects of the Goddess. And the surroundings lend themselves so much to these experiences. It's lush, it's tropical, it's warm, green and mossy and full of lotus flowers and just completely magical. And there are 2 yoga shalas where we'll be doing our practice. One is a forest shala with a beautiful aspect over the canopy. And you look down from the mountain towards glimpses of the ocean in the distance. And the other is situated over a natural water lotus pond, which is equally beautiful. So we have the idea of possibly dawn chanting for those who like to wake up pre-dawn. We'll move into beautiful yoga practices, embodiment practices, workshops where we can immerse ourselves more in the teachings and possibly ways we can take the teachings home with us. We'll have afternoons of kirtan, dancing, embodied flow. We'll have evenings of beautiful yoga nidra and sound, nourishing immersions. And it's just this perfect natural place where we can immerse ourselves in the nature. They have a large organic garden where a lot of the fresh produce and food comes from. There's a forest farmers community in the area who are always happy to take you into the surrounding walking trails if that's something that interests you in your spare time. Tree planting, possibly. Beautiful women who love to share flowers and flower offerings and that kind of Balinese culture. There's also a family temple which is also quite common in Bali. Each family will have their own beautiful temple, and such a sacred space to sit together in some of our practices, and then alone too, if you like to sit there. They have a daily, they have shuttle, but they're like little tuk-tuks, shuttles that take you down to the beach, which is only about a 10-minute, if that, little cruise down the mountain to the beach, where they welcome you at their oceanside resort as well. So, you know, it's kind of interchangeable. You can pop down for a swim, a snorkel. We might pop down there for a few other beautiful water activities as well. There's a natural spring on the mountain, which also flows its water into the freshwater showers. They have a saltwater swimming pool with beautiful day beds that you can lie with swallows diving in and out of this fresh water. It's so beautiful. It's honestly heavenly. And really feels like the most apt place to immerse ourselves in the arms of the Mother, our sacred Mother, and really tune in and lean into our connection with the Goddess. There's a beautiful open air restaurant as well, probably the only place on the mountain that receives Wi-Fi. So there's this beautiful feeling in your Balinese bungalow to let go of Wi-Fi, to completely unplug and have that natural rest. But if you do need to contact your family, or you feel you need to pop online, you can get Wi-Fi in the restaurant area, where they serve Balinese coffee and drinks all day. They have a vegetarian menu mostly, and if there's, you know, some need for seafood, we can discuss that, or they cater for all your dietary requirements as well. So we just get that clear, and they'll serve the most delicious food suited to your diet. What else can I tell you about this beautiful place? I'm so excited. Yeah, I think unless there's something I've left out, I think the idea is just to feel completely restful and at peace in their surroundings. The local people serve and work at this beautiful mountain retreat center, and they just live in a small rural hamlet nearby, and the love and the embodiment of their culture is just so apparent in everything they do. So they're so welcoming and loving. It feels like, you know, it's known as the land of the gods, the land of the goddesses. So I feel I'm really excited to be able to share this beauty with us all. Yeah, I'm not too sure if I've omitted anything, but to, I guess, imagine the warmth of the tropical rainforest, and shady canopies, and chanting and sharing together. If there are any questions, I'll try and answer. Rach has also, I've been there with Rach a few times. Rach took, I'd never been to Bali until I went there the first time with Rach. So if there are any questions we can answer, let us know. And thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Ally, for that really palatable description of, you know, what's on offer and also the location. It's just, I can feel that whole body of excitement and nurturance that Gaia offers. and of course our beautiful program will offer. So I'm just wondering if we could transition into any questions that anybody has. Yeah, just an open floor. If anybody has any areas of curiosity, even if that's about getting to the retreat or anything at all, I'd love to open the floor to any questions. What about, yeah,
Oh, sorry, I don't have any questions so far. I think I might have some probably further on. But it is a good question. So when we catch the flight in, how will we get to the accommodation? Do we catch our own private vehicles?
yeah, so it depends. So sometimes I suggest people arrive a night early.
Yes.
Is that possible for you to do?
Yes, that's what I was thinking of doing.
Great. And we have a hotel that we recommend. We generally
Perfect.
recommend staying for a night or two in Ubud.
Yeah, okay.
And because it's halfway. So you can get, if you
Ah,
spend the night at Greenfields, and we'll share that information with you. I've been
yeah,
using the hotel for many years. And Greenfields would support you in booking a transfer from the
perfect.
flight to the hotel, and then you would stay at Greenfields for a night or two, depending on what time you have available. And then we arrange the transport from Ubud or wherever people decide to be transported from to Gaia Oasis. So we use local
Okay,
drivers that are familiar with the Gaia area. So we coordinate all of the transfers, and we'll arrange for people to carpool so that we'll keep the cost down, and you just pay that, we'll let you know, and you pay the driver directly, and we'll arrive Gaia. Normally, the taxis normally leave at about 2 p.m. from Ubud. But
yeah,
that
okay, wonderful.
retreat doesn't
Yeah,
start.
yeah, I think I'm going to get there a couple of days early so I can really settle in and ground myself before I start.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And it's also a beautiful idea because, Ubud has, all of the other things that you might expect in Bali, like shopping and, cafes and, a bit of that kind of touristy enjoyment. There's also
Yeah,
fun and other kind of, things so when we
yeah,
go to the retreat center, it is a little more remote. So there is like a local cafe that you can visit that has a great shop and things like that, but there's not kind of the range that you have in Ubud.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, cool.
Yeah, great. Lovely. Thanks, Sophie. Any other questions? What about any of our facilitators? Have you had any students ask you any questions that people might benefit from exploring?
Rach, I have been asked about free time,
Yeah.
which I see is, and my response has been that there will be free time. And then, of course, the choice to attend the various workshops and activities are, of course, up to those that come. So, nothing being compulsory. And if there's a real desire to go on a hike or to go down to the beach and join, any activities down at the other resort or whatever it is, that it's wide open, the choice is there, and there are ways to move around in the area and really be looked after by the staff that are at both resorts. So free time, there will be free time between the various sort of set activities, and then of course the choice to attend or to take a break.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, the massages at Gaia are incredible. So all of the women that work at Gaia are local women, and they're engaging in beautiful traditional Balinese massages, body treatments, facials, hair treatments, and they make all of their own products. So obviously within the schedule, people often book a massage. So you can kind of discern whether you want to do that in a session or out of a session. And as Ali was sharing, everything is optional. It's that feminine, you know, embodiment of, tuning into what you need and moving from that place. Yeah. I think Jazzy, you had a question. There was a question that we had in the chat. Oh, I can't hear you, Jazz.
Can you hear me now? Okay. Technology is not my friend today. Before I ask my question, I also when you were speaking about all the women, I thought it might be nice to share that a percentage of people's investment goes towards supporting the local women. So I wondered if you could speak a little bit to that.
Yeah. So actually, Gaia Oasis is a not-for-profit organization, and it has many programs that you'll be able to explore or chat with the staff at Gaia. And one of those programs is supporting the women to continue the tradition of basket weaving and offering making. So in Bali, you might have, if you've been there before, seen they have these little square things on the street with flowers and sometimes incense burning. And that's one type of offering, but there are many more elaborate types of offerings that are made in the Balinese Hindu culture. And so the program that we'll be supporting is that these skills and this embodied wisdom and indigenous wisdom is continued and shared with, through elders to the younger generation. So that's what program we're supporting. And just by going to Gaia Oasis, you are already, and choosing this retreat, you're already contributing to this beautiful, conscious way of providing a retreat experience that really cares for the land and the people of that place. And this is one of the reasons why I've been taking people there for the last decade. And as much as I could probably at times offer something somewhere else, this just calls my heart every time. It's so deeply aligned with our values as a collective of facilitators that it just feels so right to continue to support Oasis and the community there, which have become like family. And it'll be wonderful for you to join that family and to lean into that beautiful wisdom and the Balinese culture that they share so generously with us. Yeah, thanks, Jazz, for that reminder.
Thank you. And my other question, my second question, because this is one of the most common ones that I receive, is are there payment plans and what are the options in regards to payment plans?
Yeah, so anybody who's keen to join us and can pay a deposit before the 1st of June, we would like to honor the early bird rate, which actually saves $300, which is such a generous early bird. And all that we ask is that the payment, however you need to do that with your particular situation, that we receive full payment by the 1st of August. Just because we need to, pay people and pay things. So we ask that, in whatever way that you need to arrange that the 1st of August, we would need the rest of the payment by. And you can, of course, stagger that, weekly, fortnightly, monthly, as would suit your individual situation. Great. Fantastic. Any other questions that you are arising for anybody tonight? Well, I cannot wait to be there with you all and to just enjoy this incredible offering. So if tonight feels complete, I might bring this to a gentle close.
Rach,
Yeah.
I might also add that we will add everybody into a WhatsApp group prior to the retreat, just because we understand that some people are traveling alone. So you might like to connect with the group leading up to the retreat and also connect and potentially share cars and things like that. So know that if you're traveling alone that you will have you'll have a buddy and yeah.
Absolutely. And we have many women who come on retreats traveling alone. And so we always go out of our way to ensure that, you know, we hook you up with, you're flying from there and that time. And then many people, if they haven't booked their flights already, do that with a buddy or, you know, so it'll be very much supported. And you'll be linked up with other women that are already joining the retreat. So yeah, you won't go alone. We'll hold your hand as much as you need to support you in getting there. Yeah.
Mm.
Hmm. Any other questions coming through? No. Anything that you're excited about? What are you most looking forward to? You've just kind of heard this smorgasbord. What are you most looking forward to?
Kind of hard to pinpoint it, but I think just the feeling of being there, being with you all and experiencing it. It sounds breathtaking. Um, and it's something I think I really need. So I'm going to be hanging on for the rest of the year until I get there.
I hear you. Yeah, it's going to be such a nice something to look forward to, something to really invest in yourself. And yeah, it will be beautiful. Words can't describe it, really. What about you, Jelly? Are you looking forward to anything in particular?
Yeah, being in the space, being in that like nature space with everyone, and disconnecting a little bit from the hustle of day to day. Yeah, I think I'm struggling to put words to it as well. It's like a coming home. Yeah. Mm.
What about you, Jazzy? What are you most looking forward to?
Am I allowed to say everything? Oh gosh, the more we plan the retreat and get together, the more I just want to also be a participant because it is going to be so magic and knowing the women that are joining. Yeah, it's going to be so incredible and also the abundance of flowers. So many flowers and yeah, being in nature, being nourished, being in good company. Yeah, there's so many things that I'm excited for. And yeah, sharing this work as well with other people so we can all bring it into our everyday lives. Yeah.
Thanks, Jazz. What about you, Ruth? What are you most looking forward to?
When Ally was describing, you know, our time there, I could just see it vividly, even though I haven't been to Bali before. But I think what I'm really excited about, looking forward to, is just the space in the day, you know, the freedom of having some spaciousness in between things, and allowing women to really step into that possibility of just settling into that spaciousness. You know, so many times in our life we're kind of like from moving from one thing to the next, And now, during that week, all these women will have some time to actually experience transitions, spacious transitions between things, and spontaneity as well. I know when I've been on retreats before, spontaneous kirtans, spontaneous dance sessions, spontaneous cups of chai. And that's just so revitalizing, or like you were saying, Ally, going in the tuk-tuk down to the beach if you want, like just things like that, the permission to just explore that in any way that you want, and witnessing all these beautiful women do it. Yeah, I think that just brings me so much joy, and I'm excited for that, and just being immersed in that lushness as well, in that landscape. Wow. Yeah.
What about you, Ally? What are you looking forward to?
I think it's so similar for me, and the space and the time to connect, to really have meaningful connection. I've been feeling sort of a little busy, as we tend to get, and missing the time to truly meet one another and connect in a space where there is no rush to be anywhere else, and if there is a time limit on your conversation, it's only to go to something absolutely beautiful. So I think that connection, I'm looking forward to the connection with one another, and also with the divine. And the roosters crowing in the morning. I just love in Bali, the roosters wake you up with at sunrise, and walking through this, even walking from, say, your bungalow to the shala, picking your way through these beautiful plants and lush mossy little steps that lead there, and a little bit of mist in the early morning, and just being completely enveloped by nature, I think. Can't wait.
And those beautiful, like you say, those just you're sitting, and those little spots where you're sitting and having your morning drink, or a fresh coconut, coconuts on tap, beautiful cashew milk cappuccinos, and my favorite is the chocolate milkshake with a squeeze of lime. I don't know why it tastes so good in Bali, but I always introduce everybody to the chocolate thick shake with a squeeze of lime, because I'm a little bit naughty like that. Well, I think we could just talk about this all night, but we better gently bring this to a close. So just take a moment. You might like to put your hand on your body somewhere, and just savor this, this imagery, these moments of connection to self, to other, to her, and just feeling that present now, just at the thought of this beautiful investment that you're making. I'll close with a little chant. Om Sarva Mangala Mangaye Shive Sarvata Sadike Sharanye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute. So wishing you a beautiful rest of your evening, and reach out if we can be of service in any way, and we'll be in touch very soon.